And she's smart. She's been with a guy for 4 years now. She hasn't let the drug that you spoke of, which is, the aura of, hey, everybody wants to, get with me, get to her. You got it? Or,
So Rib is out there. I haven't seen him for a couple of weeks. He's
okay.
asking if Wisteria Hall's music is available to be used on YouTube. Absolutely, sir. You
Yep.
have permission to use Wisteria Hall's music for any of your videos with no type of issues. Jimmy is owner along with his partner Bart Griggs, and that is part of our show. So we give rights to most anybody to
What's he,
use that
what's he,
music.
what's he doing? What's he using it for?
Well, he's not saying. I guess he's asking. He's the guy that does all the cartoon videos and shit. Those cool ass
Yeah.
cartoon videos. Yeah,
I'm curious.
yeah. So maybe he'll
Gotcha.
put it in on something, right? So he's asking.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm still waiting for him to do a cartoon video of one of our interviews. All right, buddy, you ready? I know you really didn't want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. I am so sorry for you, but this is it.
What's that?
So Jimmy Kimmel has been put
Oh,
on extended leave from his late night show due to his comments on the President Donald Trump, along with his complaining that the right is trying to blame the left for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I got to tell you something, Jimmy. Right, for the first time in almost a year, our video got flagged last week.
okay.
So it took me almost a
Or?
week to get it unflagged. It doesn't tell you what for.
Oh,
Tells you that it's limited advertising, right? So because I guess whatever our conversation was, I was thinking to myself, like everybody in the world's talking about Charlie Kirk, and we're talking about him, and we get flagged, right?
right. Uh-huh.
It's the same old bullshit, same old story.
Yep. Yep. The,
So
the very the very thing I'm trying to stop. But go ahead.
I'm gonna lead you into this one. So Jimmy Kimmel had something to say, but do you think it's fair that he gets suspended, and are we infringing on our right to free speech within the United States of the Americas?
When you report falsely and spread the flames of hate further, you are definitely to be curbed. I'm sorry. It's the right decision. Okay, because everything he said was untrue. There are facts here that have been released to the public through the investigation. Okay, he was not a right wing youth. Well, how dare you go on after the weekend? You had plenty of time to ingest the information, the inscriptions on the casings, the text messages between the young man and his lover, and you have the nerve to come on and say that it's the right wing MAGA, and what you are flinging hate out there. This is what I talked to you about last week, Mike. That somehow there has to be, and you know what? Megan Kelly set my ass straight. You saw my post this week about free speech. I'm like, okay, I get it. All right, but this situation is what I was talking about, where you spew
Here's the
out further,
difference.
yeah,
But Jim,
you
here's the
spew
difference.
out further division, further increasing the narrative when the real hostilities, especially, come on, the hostilities are coming from a certain side. And I don't give a damn if you like it or not. It's obvious. Why are you continuing that? The man just died. He just died, Mike. What on earth in front of his family? What on earth? And he was a preacher. Oh, God. You don't believe in the Bible? Let's kill you. You don't believe in his political beliefs? Let's kill you. Don't talk to you. Do not go on the air and preach that bullshit to us. This
So
is over.
here's my belief, Jimmy, is everybody has a right to free speech. Now, I've been
Yeah.
more than publicly saying that famous people should really curb their political enthusiasm because
Right.
of the leverage that they have on society. We've discussed
Right.
this numerous times. LeBron James has more pull in the family dynamic than daddy or
Twisted.
mommy. Okay.
It's
If
twisted.
Jimmy
It's true.
Farrow has a political opinion, it's only seen about a certain amount of people. LeBron James's opinion is altering minds. So when Jimmy
Right.
Kimmel goes on air to a million people who ever watch the Tonight Show every night, right? He's
Less
got a
and less
certain
all the
amount of
time.
pull. So I've always believed to this point is that you need to curb your politics if you're an actor, if you're an athlete, if you're anybody of any sort of fame that has nothing to do with politics. Now, people say that's stupid. What about freedom of speech? You're absolutely correct. So Jimmy Kimmel chose to use his venue to use his freedom of speech, his amendment of right that he's able to use, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I believe in, and it's finally happening. Owners of companies are saying, say what you want. And this is happening all over social media now, Jimmy. People are on there crying. I lost my job because I posted this. I lost my job. Companies have a right to go, hey, you have a right to say what you want, but guess what? I don't want you representing me.
Right.
When you work for me, you represent
Right.
me.
Right.
And that's what I'm kind of digging right now. It's like, guess what?
Right.
Say what you want. Now you're
Right.
fired. Goodbye.
Well,
And people are crying. All I said is I hated Charlie Kirk. Well, guess what? You should have kept it to yourself, but you wanted to go on the internet. Now you're fired. That's it. Jimmy Kimmel, you had to do it on your show. You're fired.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gone. And but to me, it's the facts. The circumstances and the facts. He's freshly murdered, and you go on and you give false facts. What are you doing? Well, you're just dividing and continuing the hate division process. You're making it even worse. What are you doing? Have you seen some of the behavior that went on some of these campuses with some of these nut
Of
jobs
course.
that would interrupt vigils of peace and in remembrance? And your homie dead. Your homie dead. Did I hear that right? I want to make sure I heard that right.
She was also arrested. So, you know,
Right. I'm just
listen,
saying. And then you have the nerve to go on and say what you said.
here's the
Wow.
thing. Here's the thing. If you feel so driven to celebrate, listen, the people at TMZ, they did nothing to that whole group of people working for them that were cheering at that point, right? And then they
Yeah.
claimed it was they were watching some cop chase bullshit, but they didn't do it.
Sure.
Listen, here's the deal, Jimmy. You have a right to do whatever the fuck you want, and guess what? Everybody else has a right to
Mm-hmm.
do the same exact thing, right? You're just not supposed to
Right.
hurt people doing it, right?
Right.
So
I
guess what? You
remember.
want to go on social media? Say, listen, if I'm working for a company right now and I'm pro Donald Trump, and they're not pro Donald Trump, and they want to fire me, I guess they could, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm as you're saying these things, I'm flashing back to a clip that I've seen where Charlie is, one of his turning point debates, and he's debating with a transgender, and the transgender asks Charlie basically, why do you not just acknowledge me when I say that I'm a she or I say that I'm a he? It's just a common courtesy. And Charlie looked at them and said, it is not courteous to lie to someone. I have my right to my opinion and you have yours. You're asking me to lie to you about my personal opinion on it. That's
The
wrong. And on
the
top of
best
it, when I don't give you the answer you want, you're going to call me a Nazi and a Trump supporter, and you're going to lump me into a whole bunch of other things that don't apply to me. So, how is that courteous? And when someone
again,
answers it that way, there's going to be someone that's going to take a gun and try to kill that because you can't, when you can't argue with it, you have, like I said last week, you have one or two ways to go with it. Either you accept what he said and you stick to your own opinion, or you kill somebody like that because he always had the answers. They were
Here's the
thorough.
thing. I heard Jamie Lee Curtis on an interview, right? And she said she did
Oh,
not like
well,
him. She
right.
said, I did not like him. I didn't agree
Mm-hmm.
anything about anything he said. But you know what? He was a man of God. He stood by his beliefs. And how can't you respect, say, someone who stands by their beliefs and their love? Because it was all
Right.
from love. If you watch those videos when he speaks, even when he doesn't believe in something, the one thing he always says is love yourself and love your God, right? I mean, he's
Right.
always saying that. Listen, dude,
Yeah.
you know what? I didn't realize it until last week, but I feel like we may have lost a future president over nonsense. And
Yeah.
again, this has been going on forever and ever, from Martin Luther
Yeah.
King to Malcolm X to Robert Kennedy to John F. Kennedy, the attempted
Yeah.
murder, assassination of Ray. The list is long and long, right?
Reagan. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's like at some point, people got to check themselves. Listen, I want to move on. I know we covered this last
Yeah,
week, but I just feel it's important. So, do you remember the young lady who was murdered on the train, stabbed on a train?
sure, sure.
I was listening to a show, right? And they
Hmm.
were talking about this said murder, and they were saying how disgusting it was that people just sat there, walked away, didn't get involved. And of course, it was disgusting. I'm going to go on record and say that. I'm sure you would feel it was disgusting too, Jimmy, right?
Oh, well, yeah, to say the least.
But here's the one thing I want to ask you. People are so quick to like talk from their ivory towers and say this, but I don't know. Do you think those same people, if they were put in that same situation, they were going to risk their lives to save somebody else?
Well, I mean, all I could do is just talk from personal, how I would be about it. I'm not sitting there. I'm not filming it. I'm probably figuring out a way to get behind them and choke them, get them down to the ground and scream to somebody else, "Fuck, help me with this guy! Get his legs, get the weapon." I would be trying to choke him out from behind and bring him down from the rear. Sorry, folks, there's a million jokes in there, but
All,
yeah, that's
all,
what I'd be trying to
all I'm
fucking do.
trying to say to you, Jimmy,
I'm
is
not sitting there.
people are very quick to say, "Oh, that's an embarrassment.
I'm
That's a
not sitting
shame.
there,
That's
Mike.
disgusting."
There ain't no ivory tower here. I'm not sitting there, and I don't think you're sitting there. This is not armchair quarterbacking either. I'm not sitting there.
I know what I would do, but my whole point is, I think people don't really realize, like, if they're in this situation, it's not such a cut and dry situation. Okay, if anybody's been around somebody who's wielding a knife,
Nothing
okay,
cut and dry
an,
about any of
an
it.
well, no, it's not. It's not cut and dry.
No,
It's not like,
I
oh,
understand.
you can't lay judgment. Listen, again,
I'm
sometimes
not.
there's more important
I'm
stuff.
not.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in
I'm
general, this
not.
particular show and this particular person who I know wouldn't have done anything. Okay, trust me. There's not a day and a second ever it would have happened.
Oh,
But
now I got to wonder about the particular person. Go on.
you know who it is, dude. It's really
I'm
simple.
confused tonight. I didn't even know who the past particular person was. I don't know
Does this
what's going
help?
on. Go on.
Does this help?
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, I get.
All right,
Yeah,
there
a
you
little
go.
bit. I don't know. The arms were like not in the right position. Were they?
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
okay, there. Okay, does that help? Does that
I
work
don't
for
even
you?
know. I don't even know. I don't remember. I'm.
But
I got
anyway, my
enough going on
point
in my
is,
life. Go ahead.
not everybody's a hero, and you
Go
know
ahead.
what? It's like don't lay judgment on people that just run away because
Yeah,
some
but
people want to live, right?
you know what? How about some observations though? Since we're back on this horrible incident, okay? How about some
Yeah, sure.
observations? You got
Yeah,
people sitting there that doing absolutely nothing. Guy gets up, you can hear, got the white girl. You can hear it on the audio. Got the white girl,
right.
and no, everybody just sits there. Like, can I objectively say that absolutely sucked? Can I say
Absolutely.
that? Okay, all right. No judgment going on here, folks.
I
It's
mean,
just an observation.
how about the people that were filming that poor lady being on fire in the
Oh,
subway?
that was unbelievable.
All
You
right. I
know
mean,
what? The only thing missing was the hot dog vendor coming up and selling pretzels. I mean, everybody was filming and just hanging out. Hey, check it out. What has gone on here, Mike? What have we done? What have we done to ourselves?
because everybody's a big talker. Big
Yeah,
talker.
well.
Know what I wanted to talk to you about. I want to welcome our new sponsor, 500 Level. www, shouldn't be using that, 500level.com, where they sell all sports clothing and all this wonderful stuff. And support the Monte and the Pharaoh Show. Please use the code MP20, that's MP20, and get a luxurious 20% discount with 500 Level sports gear. And right now they're offering a holiday special with 10%. So that's a whole 30% off the garments. Jimmy, you just being part of their sponsorship, ordered yourself a nice little T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm acknowledging the great tribal chief. Yo, by the way,
I'm really surprised you went that route, dude. I got to be honest with you.
oh, it's funny as I was looking through, and by the way, they have a lot of great stuff. for you folks out there. When you get to that site, there's a lot of good. Dude, I was tortured. You said to me, pick a shirt, and I'm like,
And
oh my
by the way,
god,
it's just not wrestling, dude. It's all
I
sports. Like,
know.
I was surprised you went wrestling. I was like, really, dude?
Well, I mean, after all, they've been kind enough to be our sponsor, and we're gonna have a partnership with them. Of course, I'm gonna do wrestling. It's a wrestling show. Sometimes it's a wrestling show, right, Mike?
Sometimes. And let's not
Right.
reminder MP20 for a luxurious 20% off of 500 level. And like I said, for the holiday, they're offering another 10%.
What do you think I was gonna pick? Like Aaron Judge or something? I don't really
Dude,
do that.
I know. I was thinking to myself, is he going to go Yankees or Jets? And if he
No.
goes wrestling,
Yeah.
he's not going Rome. Like, I was shocked. I thought you would go Hulk Hogan, Savage, Ultimate Warrior, even.
No, because right now the very thing that you and I talk about from week to week and we pine for is the return of the great tribal chief. Look, we really did enjoy that. Yeah, we really did love that reign.
By the way, I
Of,
got to show you.
of
I got to show you something
we
here. Do you see this? I got this
look
T-shirt.
at that. There you go.
It's really
Nice.
cheesily made, but I fucking
So
love
what?
it.
It's the message that counts.
By the way, I got to ask.